Welcome back, everybody, to the channel. Today we got a very special car to take a look at. This is the 2023 Mercedes AMG GLB 35. Let's take a look. So starting off in front here, like we like to do, it's a very nice and big front end. That Mercedes logo is absolutely ginormous with the big grille that works. You have some side vents there that aren't really used. They're kind of fake, but they do house some parking sensors, I believe. A nice little camera just on the bottom, and those nice LEDs that kind of encapsulate the whole main headlight, which is nice. It's daytime running LEDs, of course. Little AMG badge there, and nice little Mercedes logo right here as well. To just, I really like the look of that. Let's move around here to the side profile. Again, you got your 21-inch wheels. These are add-ons, so this has a whole bunch of different add-ons in here. It's a 2.1 liter turbocharged, 302 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque. It's a Mercedes AMG Tuned engine, so you get a lot of power in this thing. And it's nice and compact. You can see the side profile here. If I just roll back here, it's got a short front end, but then it kind of swoops back to have like a wagon look, and it's super nice. Let's just move on to the back as well. Super cool. AMG logo once again. Also GLB 35. Nice. This has like probably one of the best rear diffusers that you can get. It's got a nice sound to it too. You can actually control how much sound you have coming out of the exhaust just based off of the drive mode. So obviously Sport Plus, it's got to be really loud and really crazy. Some nice headlights there too. Nice rear wiper. I would have put the rear wiper up here though. It would have looked a little bit better, but you know, it's fine. I think it just is going to break down here. That's the only thing. It's got the midnight package on it. So midnight package means no chrome, so that's really the only chrome, and you're gonna see the door handles have some chrome as well. So, you know, overall though, a super nice car to look at, and also a super nice car to drive. If I were to buy this car today, I would definitely take the midnight blue color. For sure, I'm taking that midnight blue color. Let's check out really quick the trunk space, and then we'll get to the interior of the car. All right, so let's check out now the trunk space of the GLB 35. As you can see, I had to open it myself. There's supposed to be like a button here that would help you close it, but you have to do it yourself like you're for, even though you spent $70K on this vehicle. But unfortunately, that's the situation we find. But lots of trunk space. You can have an option where there is a third row back here, but as you can see, I mean, look, there's just no room for it at all. You'd have to be an extremely tiny person to fit back here. There's just like, it's crazy. So this, I think, is the best configuration. 5 seats, fits enough people, can haul enough stuff, nice look, pretty decent. Let's take a look at the interior now. So here we are on the interior of the Mercedes AMG GLB 35. As you can see, it's one of the best interiors you'll probably ever look at. It's got nice ambient lighting, very nice vents, the iconic vents. If you've driven one Mercedes, maybe you've seen them all, but you don't care because it's super nice. You got nice little carbon fiber accents everywhere, as well as some silver accents. It's very well split up. There's also a lot of buttons you can see down here, all in the center gauge console here. This thing is slightly useless. It's just for your hand rest, but it's kind of big. You got a trackpad as well, which I don't really enjoy that much. It's not the greatest thing to use in the world, but the good thing is you can touch it. Unlike a Lexus, you can use your hand and actually move around. There's so many different configurations in this gauge cluster that are 10 1/4 inches. 2 of them. You can see one here and one here for the center console. It's a lot of customization that you can do with these. A lot of vehicle settings. You can change your ambient lighting. I could probably do a whole video on this infotainment system, just going through all the settings and stuff, but that would take quite a while. But if you want it, you let me know, and you know, we'll figure something out to try to do it. But it's very responsive, very smooth, which is important, right, in this kind of vehicle. Moving on over here to the steering wheel, probably the best thing about this car. You have a nice little thing where I can change my race. I can have my sport mode. There's no race mode. Sport Plus is the closest you're going to get to race, and like I said at the back, it does allow us to change how loud the exhaust is in the back, which is cool. You have your digital gauge cluster. I don't care if it's not analog, as long as it works properly, and this one does. You can do pretty much everything you want in it. There's a lot of customization. You wouldn't think that you would have customization in a vehicle like this, but you do. I can, you know, have different things in the center. I can change the gauge clusters on the side here. I can do pretty much whatever I want. Whatever I want to drive is the way that I can drive it. It's super nice. Nice Alcantara stitching again on the steering wheel here. We love this steering wheel. It's super nice. You got memory doors, adjusted seats. If you've driven a Mercedes, a lot of it, again, is the same, but plenty of space. Nice leather stitching, red leather stitching, and as a matter of fact, on the door here. It's all super nice. You got a nice little storage here too that opens interestingly enough. Very nice. No complaints there either. Also, you don't have USB-A. You're stuck with USB Type-C. So if you're not up to speed with the phone stuff yet, well, you better, because if you're not going to be able to use your wired Apple CarPlay. Unfortunately, if you look here, Apple CarPlay will only give you a portion of the screen, not the whole screen, because you have your temperature gauges and stuff like that. But I would have liked to see them do the full screen, but not a huge deal at all. So now let's just move quickly to the back seat of the car and we'll see how that looks. So inside of the car, you can see I am sitting in my driver profile position. This is exactly how I have the seat, and you can see how much room I have. You can see how much leg room I have. There's a lot of space back here too. There's a lot of space to slide around. Nice little vents here. Again, the same design as the front. USB-C down here, not good, but I mean, I would have liked to see more than one. There really isn't. There's just one. So I mean, only one person can charge at a time or do whatever at a time. Nice, the nice cloth red leather stitching continues back here, and you also have nice little usable cup holders down here that actually pop out, which is kind of cool. That's nice. Oop, there you go. Cool stuff to look at. Not too bad. Comfortable, a little bit stiff, but I would definitely still do a road trip in here. No problem. So now that you've seen every single part of the vehicle, let's take it where it matters. Let me strap that GoPro on my head and let's take it for a test drive. All right, we got the GoPro strapped up and we are on the road with the Mercedes AMG GLB 35. So what can I tell you about how it drives? It's actually super comfortable to drive. I mean, the suspension has dampers, so you can adjust it based on the drive mode, which again, we can change from here. But I usually drive on individual just because it can adapt the throttle response. So if I push, it'll kind of put the transmission and engine into a sport mode. If I'm light on the throttle, well, then it's a little bit lighter on everything else as well. So that's nice. The ride quality, well, I mean, even in comfort mode, it can be a bit rough, but then again, we're talking about a sports SUV here. So we're not talking about really like super comfort design. It does have an element of comfort. I think it has to, just because it is an SUV, so you kind of do expect a bit of comfort. It's a really happy mix though. I do like the mix that we have here. We got paddle shifters. I usually just drive an automatic. It's just easier. You don't have to think about it. But if you want to, when you're on windy roads and stuff like that, you can press this button down here. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but you just push the button down here. It'll change you into your manual mode, and then you can shift through the gears, down the gears, however you want, just by doing that. So that's super nice. That's a nice feature to have. I don't mind that at all. Now you can see the steering wheel in action. It's the nicest, hands down the nicest steering wheel that I've reviewed so far. That in any press car, in any car, Mercedes has got it down. Don't change it. It's not broken. It works really well. The functionality with me being able to change stuff on the fly with my steering wheel without having to touch the trackpad, that is good, not great. It's really, really useful. I really do enjoy having that available to me. This nice little red bar on the steering wheel is nice too, to make sure that you're straight, you know? It's just like a nice little racing thing. The D-cut is super nice with the AMG logo on the bottom. I like seeing that too. No complaints there at all. So, you know, overall, super nice to drive. Super nice ride quality and everything. I mean, you don't really notice the bumping around too much, especially when you're taking corners quickly like this one, and you know, you just don't notice the ride when you're having so much fun, you know, throwing the car around. Well, $75K to some people, actually to quite a lot of people, is a lot of money, right? This car costs $75,000 Canadian. So that's a lot of money to spend on an SUV. So if you have that money lying around, I guess the argument could be that, well, I'm just gonna get a higher quality AMG or a higher class AMG. And I would agree with you. I would have to agree with you on that. But I think this is for people who want the happy medium, who want the thing that can make you fly, which we'll see in a second here. I'll do a little performance. that can make you absolutely fly in a straight line and have the space, have the comfort, have the ease of access. This car is really easy to get in and out of, and it goes fast, and it's an AMG, and it sounds nice. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but the AMG Tune is very nice, and the fact that you can control it based on your drive modes, and if you're in dynamic mode, you can set how loud the exhaust is, which is super cool to have anyways, right? So you want that mix, and I think that's for people who have the money, who want the mix, who like a little bit of comfort as well, and just a little bit of sportiness, and just have that happy medium. It just sits right there in that happy medium, and you get all the features that a Mercedes has. You can go to a lower class and nobody's going to say a thing, because at the end of the day, it is a Mercedes, it is high quality, it's reliable, right? And you get a Mercedes, you get this steering wheel. I don't know if all the Mercedes have such a nice, you know, cloth steering wheel and everything like that, but you still get a Mercedes steering wheel, so that is definitely not something to complain about. So you can change with my little drive thing here. I can change into Sport Plus mode, and I can absolutely rip the car, and you can hear that noise. I'm at 110 already. It just was so fast, like, holy. You know, I'm doing the speed limit, obviously. If anybody from the police is watching, I've been doing the speed limit that's posted. But it's so quick around corners. It's so planted in the Sport Plus mode. You know, I can throw it around. I can hammer that throttle like this, and nobody's gonna catch me like that. And you just hear it. You know, even if you're only going like 115 and you're pressing the throttle, the exhaust sound is so loud. It's so nice. Like, it's just such a nice performance option to have, and nobody does it better than AMG. Mercedes have do this engine very nicely, and the shift is quick. Even when you're using the manual mode, you can tell that Mercedes has that F1 inspiration. It has that F1 knowledge that not every manufacturer has, which is important to note. That F1 knowledge does come through in certain aspects of transmission, engine, reliability, all that stuff. So they're literally testing these cars on the F1 tracks and then kind of rolling them over into their road cars, and I love that. If you're a fan of F1, it's just such a great thing to know. See, just in corners, I have so much confidence that it's just gonna stick with absolutely no complaint. I don't even have so much. There's a little bit of body roll, obviously. It is an SUV, it's heavy. Not a lot of understeer or oversteer, especially in the Sport Plus modes. It doesn't matter. Obviously in the comfort mode, well, the steering can be a little bit dead, so just keep that in mind. But you also have an automatic start-stop feature that's on all the time, whether you like it or not, but you can turn it off. It's right under the ignition, so make sure that you don't turn your engine off, and you actually turn your auto start off. It's right there, just behind the turning stalk here. You also have you can see when I shift into park and everything, it's right here. It's a stock mounted to the steering column, and it saves so much room down here in our infotainment cluster that it's good. It saves in the center console, sorry. It saves so much room and it's easy to use. It's easy enough to get used to. I actually have never driven a Mercedes before, so there was a slight bit of a learning curve to learn with all the buttons and everything. And you think nowadays, you know, a lot of things are in the infotainment system. They're all locked in the infotainment system. You can't control a lot of stuff with buttons anymore. Mercedes has kind of went the complete opposite way, gave us a 23 car with all these buttons, and I'm not complaining, because if you want to use the touchscreen, you can control things from the touchscreen just as well as you can control things by using the buttons. It doesn't matter. But if you want to have that duality, that button press, that spaceship feel, I feel like you need buttons. You need like the spaceship-esque, all these buttons that do different things. And, you know, there's a learning curve to that a little bit, just to figure out how everything works and what everything does. But other than that, no complaints. It's super easy to drive and everything. I mean, like, I just, you know, and the buttons also feel very high quality. Everything in this car feels high quality. It feels like you spent $75,000, which is important, right? You don't want it to be, you know, some crap thing that, you know, you've paid $75 for. The infotainment's really smooth, really high resolution. The cameras, the 360 cameras are all really, really high resolution as well. No problem parking, no problem doing anything like that. So you got everything you need. You got your 360 cameras, you got,
you got your tech package, your midnight package. This thing is loaded with packages. It's fully loaded. Pop open the Mercedes configurator, put every single package on here. That's the car I'm driving. They really spared no expense for this press vehicle, and I'm benefiting from it fully. I mean, like I said, when I saw this car come up on the press fleet, I instantly jumped at the opportunity to get it. It's a Mercedes. Come on, you know, between a Hyundai and a Mercedes, I think I'm going to take the Mercedes, and if the Hyundai is available after, well, we'll check it out. But go on, it's a Mercedes. I got to do it. It's got automatic, you know, high beam and headlight detection, so it'll kind of move with the steering wheel and everything like that. It's super nice. So, you know, overall, really nice car. I've been really happy to drive it. It's cost a little bit of money because it does only take premium fuel, so the gas tank empties quickly if you're in sport mode, and is expensive to fill up when it comes to that, because gas prices are still on the rise here in Quebec, unfortunately. So just keep that in mind, that it is a full gas car, and it does about 10.3 per 100 kilometers. That's on my 100 kilometers test. I got 10.3 per kilometer there. So it's not bad. It's really decent, actually, if you think about it. And if you're not pushing it all the time and only doing it once in a while, just have a little bit of fun, well, then I think your gas tank is going to last you a little while, and your wallet will probably thank you for it, because you just spent 75K on this Mercedes, so you don't really want to spend all the money all the time every couple of days at the gas station, you know, filling up. So it does suck fuel, but not so much. So I think that's going to do it, though, for today. I think we've covered as much as we possibly can of the Mercedes AMG. It's a really fun car. I'm super glad I got the opportunity to drive it, and I hope I get the opportunity to drive more. But with that being said, if you're new here, I think I have got like 0.5% of the people that actually watch my videos are subscribed. The rest, and the other 99.3% of you are all not subscribed. So if you are new here, if you enjoy the content, if you enjoy my opinion on vehicles, if I helped you make a decision, let me know. And also subscribe. The more subscribers I have, the more opportunity I get to drive vehicles like this, and it's always a great time, and I love doing this for you guys. So click that subscribe button, click that like button for me. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you're in the market for an AMG car or a Mercedes cars in general, I want to know. I'm also in the market for a new car. My lease is up this year, so let me know what you think of this car in particular. Let me know if there's more things that you want to see from Mercedes in general, and I will try to get my hands on them for you. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. I really do. I hope you like Mercedes. I hope you like taking a look at this car with me. And we will catch you in the next one, hopefully shortly. Take care, everybody.